Hey, Shalom, welcome to Kabak Partial from James London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachodash. We're to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles, the GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful elect, to pushing this truth and not sincerity. Back here with another video, and I kept seeing these like advertisements on YouTube with this technology, right? I was like, what the fuck is this, man? Because I hadn't seen anything like this yet. You see this woman here, you got this brain chip, this mind chip on the side of her head, and it's really advertised it like it was a real thing that some company was releasing. But I thought, nah, like I ain't heard about that. Like, where did that come from? So I was like, I didn't do nothing on it at the time. I was like, oh, okay, what's this? You know what it is though. It's just like you saw a typical PR promoting the Black Mirror series, right? Which is still fitting, considering everything that's going on right now. So it is just an advert for this new Black Mirror season. And this is one of the episodes. The episode's called Hotel Reverie. All right, and I ain't watched it yet. I ain't watched this new season yet to see what they got in it. But this is where that tech, what episode that tech came from, And but like I said, considering everything that's going on in the earth, right? We got like I said, Elon Musk working with his Neuralink and that. All these types of programs. We know Black Mirror has been one of these types of programs that the elites just displaying and showing off, basically where they want their plans to go, right? And then although this is like, hold on 1 second. It's like I should have to take that phone call, right? Yeah, so it's the elites way of displaying the technology, or how they want to use that technology, right? But again, this media here, like this it's for entertainment, right? This Black Mirror series is entertainment, for people to like, get into, right? Pay your Netflix subscriptions and and watch, right? To be entertained, right? Even though it really depicts like a dystopian world, right? But this world is increasingly becoming dystopian, and people just like there's like a disconnect, right? At one hand, it's entertainment, but at the same hand, on the other hand, right, it's becoming reality, man. And people don't seem to be worried or that concerned about it. I mean, you got some people obviously that are, but it's like, oh, this is cool, this is cool, not knowing that Esau's plans for all these types of technologies that he's working on. And Esau's probably already got this. This is the thing. Like, it's not. Esau's probably got this working. Something like this working somewhere, right? It's just not. It's not ready to put out on the mass market yet. Technology that we got here are like years behind what they've been working on. So all this Neuralink stuff that we got here, and even got other companies, working with that whole brain interface. That stuff they've been working on for years. Prior before Elon Musk come out and start talking about it. You know what I mean? We've got all this metaverse shit, this virtual world and reality shit, augmented reality, and all these types of things, man. Because they really just want to box you in. they want to trap you in your own mind, right? Because life is gonna be shit. Like, don't get twisted. The world that Esau is building right now is gonna be shit for everyone except for the elite, right? And if they if they deem it right, they may be benevolent, right? So maybe benevolent and allow you to escape, right, in your own mind, to relive memories or different scenario. Like the whole fucking metaverse thing. You could be on the beach somewhere, while you're sitting in your flat. You know what I mean? Because you just fucked up, right? But if he's benevolent or if you can afford it, because he's just the devil, man. Maybe you'll be on these blacklists. Maybe you don't get to have the the release, the escape. And maybe you just have to deal with the hell that you're in. But yeah, so he's just showing off his technology as usual in this Black Mirror series, right? And so I ain't watched the episode yet, so I don't know the full ins and outs. Maybe I'll do another video on it once I've watched it. But yeah, so when I first saw it, I was like, what the fuck is this? And you clearly see the brain chip inside the head and that, right? So this is like non-invasive now. It's just on the side of your head. You don't have to drill a hole in your head or whatever. So by the time it gets to this point, most people will be on board with it. It's like, oh, what, I just got to clip it onto the side of my head, and I can, dream dreams and live dreams in different scenarios or whatever. Yeah, that sounds cool. I mean, it does sound cool to an extent, isn't it? But, but this is like I say, this is Esau's method of entrapment, right? He's entrapping people, right? Laying these snares, right? So, I was trying to do a little video on this quickly. So, starting off with Psalms 37, verse 7 says, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him." Right? We're not waiting for Esau to give us this life that he keeps promising us. Especially Trump. You're gonna have the greatest lives ever. You're gonna be the richest ever. You're gonna know what to do with the money. All these false promises that Esau makes, right? Claiming that he's making life better for people, man. But obviously, that's not what's happening. Like I said, poor people are just getting crushed right now, and it's been like that for ages. It's been getting worse and worse, and the rich are getting richer, and still not giving no fucks. So, this life that Esau's promised us, people trusting him to provide for us, man, it's just all a damn lie. So we don't wait for Esau, man. We're waiting for the Lord, because the Lord has the kingdom. Because the Lord's gonna bring the kingdom to us, man. Well, to the Israelites, not for the whole world. But you're gonna bring it to us, man. Right? So we gotta wait for him, right? So rest in the Lord, Yahweh, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, right? We know the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, right? So his ways prosper in this world, right? These are the wicked that prosper in the world. It's the wicked that prosper in this place, right? And the elites, these Edomites, right? They're at the top. They're the ones prospering the most, right? They're the ones bringing bringing about all this technology, hiring all these people to bring this technology into existence, so that they can use it for their own needs and wants, right? For their own agendas, right? It says because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass, right? These are nothing but wicked devices, man, because these are not here for these devices ain't here for your entertainment. They're not here for you to enjoy life with, right? Like I said, they have an agenda, and they're working towards that agenda every day, right? To the point you just become a literal slave with literally you're being fed crumbs. Like, this is what the whole mark of the beast thing is, man. You can't buy or sell. You can't go and do anything unless you have permissions, to go and do anything, man. Right? They want to control all elements and all aspects of your life. Right? They want to control where you go. They want to control what you eat. How much carbon emissions are you emitting? How much are you allowed? Yeah? Can you own a car? We all know their agenda is for you to not own a car. They want you to cycle to work in a 15-minute city, right? These are all things that they're working on, man. This is really like I say, we keep referencing these movies because the movies is their way of telling us where they're going, right? In the realm of fiction, because it's fantasy and all this kind of stuff. So people don't necessarily take it seriously. It's just entertainment, and this is why it's dangerous. With these things, like they put in these things to give entertainment, and so people are not really guarded. The guard's not up over these types of things because they just see it as entertainment. Okay, but in truth, it's a insight to the future reality that these elites are trying to work towards. Okay, but again, it's not to your benefit, because a lot of these Black Mirror things are dystopian. Like, they have what seemed good on the surface at first glance really was a negative, and that's what they show you in these Black Series things. So it's not like they're not telling you, because you're gonna think it's cool until it ain't cool, and then you're just gonna want to escape and just like, oh, yeah, we got fucked over, man, but what can I do about it? And you're just gonna want to escape into some next fake world and pretend that ain't going on until you didn't get fucked, right? So yeah, so again, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his ways, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Right? Again, that's Esau, right? He the one behind all of that, right? It's Isaiah 32, verse 7. Let me read up a little bit. Pardon me. I'm going to get verse 6, right? It says, "For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart are iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and Esau nothing but a damn hypocrite all day long, right? Every day, right? He a damn hypocrite, right? And to utter against error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, right? And that's why the poor is getting crushed, right? And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail, right? Because he's out here destroying the earth right now, destroying the world as you know it. Because this system that he created was made to be destroyed, to be replaced with something supposedly better for him. All right. So he all this is gonna fail. All that we people or us people that are living right now are used to is gonna fail. And so you're gonna need like some kind of backup plan, right? Some backup contingency. Well, not as a backup one, I mean, but we're looking for the world the next world to come. Yahweh Shai's world to come. This is what we're looking for. But you people don't have none of that. You don't have hope in something else. So you can only rely on Esau. Right? So you don't have a backup plan. You've only got what he offers next. Right? And we're not buying what he's offering. We're not buying this future that he's trying to sell us. We don't want it. We don't want no part of it. We want to see this place destroyed and stay destroyed. We don't want to see no resurrection of this place, knowing what these elites have in store for us. Hell no. Right? We fully believe in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to come and deliver that which he promised, man. Right? We know this is the end. This is the last kingdom, man. This is the last ruler. These Edomites are these so-called white people ruling the world right now, and Esau is the end of the world. We believe that. And this place is coming to its end. So there isn't going to be no kingdom after this, in the realms of the mortals, these heathens. Right? We're not hedging our bets, between Russia and China and all these, man. Is America still going to be power? We're not putting no bets on these guys, man. They're all going to be fucking losers, man. Okay, we're betting on Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, man. And his kingdom. All right. Verse 7 says the instruments of the Cho are evil, right? The Cho, means he's rude, right? Instruments of the Cho or rude are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, right? So when these things are all coming out, just like the Neuralink, right? It's all here to supposedly, quote unquote, benefit mankind, to help with diseases, to perform miracles, to allow the lame to walk, and all these different types of things, to treat disorders and all this kind of stuff. It's sold in a way that it sounds good to the poor, right? Not knowing that this technology is not really meant for the poor on that level, to do those types of things for them, right? Because obviously Esau believes in transhumanism, and this technology is basically ultimately here for him, to make him godlike, right? If they got problems and can't walk or whatever, cybernetics to increase their strength and their speed, and because they're frail motherfuckers, man. They need that shit. They need that shit, man. Right? To be able to transfer their consciousness onto chips and just like Alter Carbon, if you ever watched that. Like, they change bodies, they just put a chip in another body, and they immortal through that. They just keep transferring their consciousness to another body. That's what they want from themselves. The regular average person, as they show you Alter Carbon, it wasn't for everybody. Not everybody could be immortal. Only the rich. This technology and how it's really for the elites. But you'll get some sort of watered down version of something. Like, you'll get the MOTB just so they can control you, but it's not going to change your life in terms of it's going to give you your eyesight back or whatever. You know what I mean? Ain't going to be that. Maybe they'll do that, but they're not going to enhance you. They're not going to make you like themselves, because you ain't going to afford it anyway. You ever play games like Cyberpunk, man? You need cash dollars, man, and there ain't gonna be no cash dollars for you, man, because you're gonna be just slaves working, for rations. So you ain't gonna be able to afford these implants and that kind of shit anyway, right? But they say it to you in that we got some next futuristic, advanced technology coming for us that we're gonna just transcend, and we're gonna be like superhuman and shit. That's not the reality that's gonna materialize for the common man. If it was to materialize, which ultimately it won't, because Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to destroy this kingdom anyway. All right. So the instruments of the Cho are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. Okay. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11 said, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We know what the gig is, man. We know what Esau's planning. We know why he's doing this. This is not to help mankind. He is not here to help mankind. He is the devil. You don't understand this? He's the devil, right? The devil he's not here to help, right? And this is the way it's supposed to be. And this is why you people that, especially you so-called Christians, are supposed to believe in the Bible. None of you are identifying the fact that we're in end times, man, and everything about this place is evil. This is an evil rulership, evil, wicked rulership, and it's you Edomites that are ruling. But you don't want to accept or admit that you Edomites are the wicked. Or you Edomites are, you so-called white people are the Edomites. You don't want to admit it. But it's the truth. Or you want to trust your governments. Oh, we trust Donald Trump. Why? The rulers of this world are all wicked. Right? I'm going to bring this world to destruction. Simple as that, man. We're not here to support nobody in this earth, man. Or even the Lord are the righteous in this world. Right? But there ain't gonna be no fucking president or prime minister. You know what I'm saying? So why are you following these men? Why are you gonna listen to them when they really only here to bring about destruction? But of course, when the time comes, when the MRTB is put out there, you people are gonna go listen, man, because you don't have no faith. You Christians are gonna go fucking line up, man. Anyway, so let's Satan should get an advantage of, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We know what he plans to do. Okay, the technology he's bringing out is for him to do that. It's a means for him to do that. Okay, and like I said, it's gonna, the MOTB is gonna come, because of desperation. People are gonna want it because they ain't about to feed their families, man, and they're gonna fear for their safety because the world's gonna be in chaos. And so you're gonna take it. In Psalm 64, verse 2 says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. These are evil matters that they're plotting. But like I said, they relay it to you through these medias of entertainment, for entertainment, to make it seem like, when you talk about it, it seems kind of crazy. But evidently, this is where we're moving to. But it's always the case of, oh yeah, but they wouldn't let this happen because it looks crazy, right? You watch these episodes, they're fucking kind of crazy, right? No, they wouldn't do that. But you don't understand the people that empower, the people that are behind this technology, and what their plans are. Now, the guy that's designing these things, right? Who have these ideas of creating such items, right? Such technology, right? Like maybe some of them are like naive and ignorant, right? They're thinking they're bringing out a product to the world that can actually help people and stuff like that. Unbeknownst to the true agendas of the people that are funding them and their research. It could be the case, right? Because these people just want to see their invention made and funded, and so they're prepared to do anything to for that to be realized. And then it's up to those who own the technology, because it's not the creator that owns the technology, it's the company that funds it, right? So these elite corporations and that own this technology, they can use it for whatever they want, right? Like your idea as the creator, you thought, you was going to do X, Y, and Z with this technology, but Esau, these elites have a different idea for it. They weaponize the shit out of it as usual, and now your quote unquote innocent creation is now a weapon against humanity. That's how Esau does it, man. So they search for iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought and every one of them, and the heart is deep, right? So they're constantly, like I said, they're always, behind the scenes working on some shit to further their agenda. All right. And like I said, this is like a more advanced version of the Neuralink, man. What you're seeing here. Because she ain't had to have no, as far as I'm aware anyway, without watching the episode, she ain't had to have no invasive surgery, which they got to take out a portion of your skull to put this chip in. No, you just put it on your temple, man, and it'll connect like Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? That don't have to be no wires. It just connects electronically, Bluetooth to your brain, right? And you can, do and see things and live things and all kinds of shit. You know. It's Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, right? And he calls it all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand on their foreheads, right? So this is going to be, you know, the introduction of this technology or these types of technology. It's just getting you used to the idea that, technology is on the way and this is going to become the norm in the future. This is why they push this, right? Because you're going to, for them to sell this MOTB to you, for a lot of people right now, okay, the idea of having something implanted into them isn't the most exciting thing in the world, right? Most people wouldn't want that. But again, we just had the pandemic, right? When they just they just put saying foreign in during that time, you know, people didn't necessarily want to do it necessarily, but they felt like they had to do it because of the situation, right? And that's all it is. That's all you need is a bit of pressure. So all you need is a bit of pressure, man. Esau can apply pressure. Esau will apply pressure, right? That's how he does things. I get things done, right? And he has seen who will cave in to the demands under this pressure, right? So when it comes to MOTB time, right, there's going to be pressure, and the pressure is going to be so great that even if you don't like the idea of it, in the back of your mind, thinking, yeah, but it won't be that bad, it won't be that bad. Because they've already softened your brain to it. It already softened your mind to the idea of having this technology. Because it's gonna, we're gonna have these things anyway. In the future, we're gonna have these things anyway. So, we need this now because we need to eat, and you'll be making all the excuses in the world to take it, right? And so you will, right? So all these types of series and whatever, it's just to soften your mind and soften you up to the idea that this is the future, and this is where we're going anyway. So when they come and bring in MOTB, it's like, hey, it won't be that bad. We need this technology. It's going to come in the future anyway, but we need it now. So you'll forgo those feelings of bodily privacy or whatever you fucking call it, right? And you'll adopt it, right? Because the pressure will be on, all right. He calls it all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand on their foreheads, right? So this mark, this technology, this MOTB uses RFID microchips, right? This is for everybody. This is for all of mankind, right? Because all mankind are gonna need it because they're gonna want to eat. That's the most pivotal thing that that everybody needs to do is eat and drink to survive and that kind of stuff, right? So everybody will take this. Well, within reason, obviously. The elect won't be taking it, and certain guys that are anti-government are not going to take it, but they're going to get gunned down. But the technology that they talk about with all the enhancements and the healing, correct your spine and all that kind of shit, right? That ain't for everybody, right? But they make it seem like this technology is going to help everybody, no, this is for everybody. Your enslavement is everybody, right? Enslavement is free. Everything else you got to pay for, right? That's for them, right? That's for them. They're going to become enhanced, right? They're going to be superhuman, and well, the idea is that they're going to become superhuman and all this kind of stuff, super intelligent. All right, but no, you're just going to be a slave, right, and begging for bread, right? So this is for you, right? So again, and he calls it all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. That's control. That's control right there. That you cannot buy or sell. That's them having control. You can't just freely buy and sell anymore. You have to have this mark. That is control. Okay, that is what they desire. And when you know that this is all about control, then none of this technology, you realize none of this technology is really only for you. Everything that's happening in the world is for them to gain control, not to give you a better life. right? Because you can see they're eroding away the quality of life in this earth, man. They're not trying to give you a better life. They're trying to gain control. And for them to do that, they have to bring chaos. They have to bring in desperation. All right? For you to give yourselves up. All right, so that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. And last one here, Joel 5:13, right? Because like I mentioned, ultimately, as far as Esau is thinking, he's gonna achieve all of this and bring in all this technology and do all that he desires to do. Ultimately, he's not gonna get as far as as he thinks. All right. So yeah, the MOTB is gonna come. People are gonna get it chipped and people are gonna be living, by rations, right? But all this extra shit, that you see in here in the Black Mirror thing, like you're gonna, people are gonna be watching fucking holograms or living in dreams and some, all that type of shit. That ain't gonna materialize unless you count the metaverse. I guess that's already here, isn't it? But you gotta wear spectacles, some henchai spectacles for it. But yeah, it ain't gonna be nothing like this. He ain't gonna get that far. He ain't gonna be around long enough. All right. So yeah, Joel 5:13. It says, actually, where am I? Joel 5:12. Yeah, let's get 12. Right, it said he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Right, Esau is the crafty. Right, should you say Esau was more subtle than any beast of the field. Sorry, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Right, Esau represents the serpent. All right, so he's crafty. Right, also said that Esau's a cunning hunter. Right, so he's crafty. And this is why, with his lies and deceptions, man, this is how he gets to jump on people, leading you into a trap. All right. So he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right. Esau can't complete his goal. He can't complete his plan. Right. But he believes that, in a way, that it's a guaranteed thing. Right. Even on the back of the dollar bill, which Latin phrase is it? Is it annuit coeptis? Yeah, I think it's annuit coeptis, which means he, or meaning God, supposedly have favor at enterprise, right? When the truth is, the Most High hasn't. That is a deception that's been sold to you by Satan, right? Because you got Satan on your side, or you got Satan working with you right now, right? Because Most High set you up with him. Satan's Most High's agent, the con man that he set up with you, to believe that you've been given power to complete this enterprise that you've been working towards, man. But the truth is, the Most High has always been against you, and Satan is not for you, right? Satan was here, has been sent to help you, to bring you up, to elevate you to the point where your fall is going to be great. That's why this has happened. It's not that the Most High is with you, man. The Most High is ultimately against you. Satan is against you, ultimately. But the Most High is setting you up. All right, that's why we know for guaranteed that you're not going to be able to perform all that you desire. That you ain't going to finish completing your goals. Right? You're going to get as far as chipping people, and then the missiles are going to come. So you ain't going to have all this Star Trek and all this futuristic shit that you think you're going to have. Right? Because you think your kingdom's going to go on forever. It's not. Okay, it's coming to a swift and abrupt end. All right, so again, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, because Esau laying snares for everybody, right? But he don't understand that he's laid it for himself. That's why he's taking in his own craftiness. All that you've created in this world is only going to be used against you, ultimately, to bring about your demise. Okay, especially those nukes. All right. So again, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in light. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Lord willing, it's been edifying, and you know, I said maybe once I've watched it, maybe I'll do another video on it. But until then, you know, I'm gonna say shalom. I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. Till next time, shalom.